Good evening, Free Enterprise, and welcome to the first restreamed match of the All Fort Cup. I'm Invent in the booth with Nightdew. We have a great race coming for you between Skarcerer and Noobtree. Garen's tracking, Firebird Lovers handling the restream. Nightdew, what is our flag set tonight, and why does it matter?
Today we are running Zeromus Zone Anthologized. So something that both of us actually, with a little bit of tweaks here and there, something that both of us old runners here are slightly familiar with here, as it is a little mashup between Zeromus Zone 1 and Zeromus Zone 2. You'll notice we have a bunch of joke objectives up there, but we really only have one of those, and that is to forge our crystal and then go beat Zeromus. That's it. That's all we've got.
Yeah, and the 64 floor hierarchy glitch, there was a notorious use of it in Zeromus Zone 1. The rules said, we dare you to do it, and someone did indeed dare. There was a little bit of fallout and catastrophe over it. But this tournament, we are embracing the glitch. This enables you to walk through a certain number of floors in... Usually our runners will use Dwarf Castle for it. I think you can do it in Eblin Cave as well, but why? And then by changing your battle speed down to 6 and your palette color for your background, it'll warp you to any of several different rooms. We'll try to communicate those as we see them happening. And we have a fun little channel point gamba for you going on. How many times do you think our runners will attempt it combined? Will they do it fewer than 4? Or will they do it 4 or more? If you get an early Darkness Crystal, you may not need to do it at all. If your Darkness Crystal's behind an Odin in the Feymarch, well, maybe you prefer to just glitch your way to success. But it'll be fun to see it in action. I love that the event team included it in this tournament. Let's see, what else we got going on the flags? It is Sea Hero, relaxed characters. You could start with an edge. Anything else on those flags standing out to you, Nightdew?
I believe we are starting out with a spoon key item here. We have 8 distinct characters, so there will be 4 not appearing in the seed here. We don't have any adamants. I believe there's something weird going on with Fusoya here. Can we explain Fusoya maybe here?
Are we looking at the same flags? Hold on one second.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm looking at the correct set here.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me click this link and look. Fusoya maybe, right, the maybe flag. So Fu is not guaranteed to learn Nuke and Quake. Normally he learns every spell in the game, unless you have, well, J spells off, he won't learn Dispel, Shell, or Protect. But there's an 85% chance per spell, so you're still going to learn a lot of spells, get a lot of utility, but you only have an 85% chance of learning Nuke independently of all others, 85% chance of Quake, of Stone, of Weak, if you were thinking about, using those spells. So, yeah.
Speaking of that weak spell, I believe we also have EXP max level bonus here, which I believe scales XP off of the enemy's level here, if I'm thinking of that one correctly.
Right. The way that one works is that if you take the highest level party member on your team, double their level. Now look at the enemy's level. Every unit of 5, every step of 5 between those two numbers gets you a bonus. So Fu also negates that. Whereas if you have an early Hourglass and you fight a couple of level, 97, 98, they're high level. Gold Dragons, you get a huge XP influx. So there's ways to swing that as well. And it is wildish shops, so you may get to find them.
Yeah, one thing. Also, I believe we have restricted giant and package. So those of you who favor our demist hunts, unfortunately, those are off the table, at least in terms of where key item checks can be, or at least those kind of key item checks there. So I believe that does mean we cannot find a demist at those 2 locations.
Yeah, if you like to make that package gamble, you will find no purchase on this flag set. Yeah, and the giant's so annoying when it's at CPU. So both understandable, very fair. There's still some lengthy checks that people will likely not want to do. Wandering all the way down Sealed Cave for a demist, very frustrating. If your team's all set, going up Zod or to Magnus, both very long and slow checks with multiple cutscenes. So yeah.
And I believe we are starting here in just a little bit, but I was going to ask you, come on, we've never had a big race with Demas sitting down in Sealed Cave. What are you talking about?
I love this start, by the way. We have Edge, of course, like we just mentioned. We have a spoon that we can just yeet at anything if something just annoys us and we want to get past it. And we have a Cecil who, well, everyone knows what he does once he gets rolling. So this could end up being a very strong physical attacking team. We're not going to start with all those goodies, but Edge will still make short work of this overworld.
Yeah, one thing though, unfortunately, if Eddie just happens to be in the starting part of the starting spoon, unfortunately, he has been banished from spoon privileges, so no spoon for him.
Oh, yeah. The spoon is for throwing, not for stabbing at this on this flag set. You can have your spoon words on some of the other Forked Cup flag sets. Noobtree looting Baron a little bit. Gonna peek who's in the inn. That's Magus Sisters guarding Iridia.
And we got an immediately Eblin Castle play here. I mean, I guess we have to Cecil.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still scaled loot. This is T semi-pro, which I forget exactly the precise scaling of that, but Eblin's still going to be one of your better locations on the overworld to find goodies. Edge would love some weapons. I will say having the Edge start makes that a very lovely place for Magus Sisters. You could actually try that fight immediately. A touch of flame should mop them all up.
Yeah, very much. A little bit about that second fight there, where I'd want some already a crystal ring and a Bahamut orb in the treasury already. So now I'm thinking about that Rydia sitting in the bar there and saying, well, hey, I've got a dragon for you.
Yeah. Rydia will probably be getting some play this seed. Skarcerer, as long as Skarcerer doesn't sell that Bahamut orb earlier, they will be very pleased to see that Rydia waiting in the inn. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Ooh, though, power shirt for Noobtree at the Watery Pass. Like, this is one of those classic, are you going to go to Eblin and reset out of all the Myabs? Or are you going to go to Watery Pass and just loot the front and the back and, get a little bit of upper tier loot there? And power shirt, very nice.
Yeah, actually, it does look like our, I have not seen this equip flag, actually, in terms of, that was definitely a slightly adjusted edge there from what we normally see here.
Yeah, it's kind of a midpoint between Neki and default gear. This one is, by the way, it's called All Fork Cup because our forks have a ton of flags that aren't on the main branch, and it's really showcasing them. And that is C Thrift 3. Your characters will come equipped with basically tier 3 items in all slots. It's not quite Neki. It's nowhere near as good as Edge's normal start, but it's still pretty darn good.
It's really hard to beat Edge's normal start, considering that Bandana and Black Belt are almost his best in slots to begin with, so...
Yep. We did see a Valvalis fighting Edward up on Hobbs. No reason to do that fight without the spoon flag enabled. Eddie does have marginal utility. We do have his heal ability juiced up on this flag set, but Noobtree did not think it's worth sitting through a Val for, and who can blame him?
Oh, not at all. Edge, yeah, I guess Edge could throw that spoon, but we have many better targets to throw spoons at. KQE at Antlion being entirely free, not being one of them, but
yeah, and
I guess
notably,
it does mean Cecil starts with that black sword.
Hey, there you go. We did discover that Val stats, because of some work Scythe Marshal did to rebalance enemies on the fork, not exactly the same as on the main branch. So let's actually see how bad that Val would be anyway. That's Val at the Mom Bomb spot.
Yes.
She actually gets 2 evade multipliers there, whereas on the main branch she gets none. So she is a little tricky to hit there. And main branch, she does have less magic defense on this branch, but it's still 112, and Edge's flame, it's no Quake, it's no Nuke, it's no tier 3,
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe if I had just like an odd ninja star shuriken, maybe. But even then, I mean, as Roddy Sniper is saying, maybe if I had an arty bow. There's a lot of maybes coming out here. But Scar says, let's go.
Well, Scar has a lot more gear. We may have some other darts from Eblin Castle. Oh, well, he
Oh,
was looking for one, and pardon me, they were looking for one. Apologies. Uh, and Edge is like, I have one silver knife, and that's not gonna cut it. Let's leave.
and the spoon is reserved for a very special. I don't know, actually. We're still waiting on that there. But Noobtree headed to the Fabul defense here. I guess without experience from that Hobbs there that you might be thinking of. We're gonna get a Mylon Z there. So hey, perfect time to bust out that flame spell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Scar a little behind on checks here, but their gear is so good. Like, honestly, even that Eddie would not have been bad because I believe Scar got 2 Artemis bows, so any arrows that can hit a weakness, and suddenly Eddie is pumping out the damage. But the big things that I'm excited for on Scar's side are the Sork Robe, the Crystal Ring, and the Bahamut Orb. I hope we get a Baron check before we go up ordeals on their side.
Yeah, as you said, shouldn't have any problem with that ninja magic dealing with those megas. This just comes into what's behind them. Sometimes a little tricky. Might want some Cure 2s or something like that. Might want to hook for that Pinktail. I do believe we have no adamant, so I believe that's a tier 8 if we had the hook, but nothing like that.
Yeah. And honestly, I would even consider throwing the spoon at Baronin too, if it means I'm going to get a Rydia with Bahamut going that quickly.
Yeah, okay, that's definitely a potentiality there. Didn't think of it there. Didn't even mention the pass sitting in the bottom of Antlion there.
It don't matter till later. Well, it's there when we need it. Although I guess no, that's a 5.0. Not this tournament, but next one. The pass will actually count towards our key item counts again for the first time since like version 2.14 or so.
I believe we read our flag strings a little differently back in the day. Oh, there's our Q2s. There's the life potions there. So yeah.
And there's a second Bahamut just sitting in Antlion.
I guess the question is, Skarcerer didn't go in. Oh no, wait. Yeah, Skarcerer didn't go to Baron. Does not know the Rydia is sitting there. I believe it's just Noobtree that went to Baron and knows that our summoner is there.
Yeah, one of the things about this flag set is S Wildish is on, and this edge did start with kind of sad little weaponry. So I understand doing a bit more shopping here, especially with the cash money that we got going on. Just because if he is going to be your only means of getting up ordeals, you want him to be ready to do the deed.
Yeah, I mean, Cess will help out a little bit with that black sword, but it's not what you really want to hang your hat on there. And also, your ninja's or flame is 15 to cast, I believe. So you really only have 4 shots of that, barring finding any ethers in our travels here as well.
And we did see long blades for sell here in Silvera, declining them though in favor of looked like a drain spear for the throw-in. Very good dart, very bad accuracy as a weapon, but good power for just throwing at things. And we did see the cursed ring for sale, which okay. This is C hero, so Edge is your hero. You probably aren't going to get him down to like making your rest of your team RA1, but the curse ring could still help out in some pinches maybe, but probably not worth spending that kind of money on this early.
Oh no, Edge is one of those, Edge, Kane, Eddie, all your speedy boys there that don't get as much. Though Kane at least can drop on a drain spear for another -10 to all, so there is that as well.
Yeah. And Garen pointing out that if we do speed Rydia up, like of course that Crystal Ring is +5, we find Heroine Robe, that's another big agility bonus. You could still have Rydia going first and sweeping most fights with a very strong Bahamut. But 66,000 gold is a lot of scratch this early.
Yeah, it is. We don't have any modifiers on the sale prices, I believe, so everything is at least selling normally here, and that is a back attack that exists. Ew.
I mean, nice thing, semi-nice thing is you can always cast Flame here without worrying about it being reflected. It is never reflectable. At the same time, I think Scar will be very happy to have that extra Drain Spear to throw at the main body here. It hits hard. It's annoying with two party members, and no White Mage. But yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where I think I'd actually go towards the whole taking out the front arm. Because I don't think we have any back row happening yet, so we can actually have our two physical attackers taking full power swings at the body here. Because I do believe if that front arm is up, does it put Viking into the back row?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Scar flying left. We didn't even mention the pink tail that we got. Incidentally, this flag set takes advantage of the K pink flag. Pink tail is not an adamant armor. It's not a big weapon. Well, I mean, it could still be a non-key item reward, but you treat it as you would any other key item check. A rat tail by any other name.
Which means we can be disappointed by 2 Dragoon Spears and no Cane in the Seed.
There you go. Anyway, Noobtree threw that Baigan, about to promote Cecil to Paladin. Scar has gone to Baron N, going to be very happy to see this Rydia, I wager.
Oh, even a Dancing Dagger in the end. I missed that as well there. Not exactly something we need with our party as it stands right now, but never bad to have.
Yeah, on Starvation starts, you're very happy to find one of those early. Runex in the changing room. It's a starter weapon for Cecil. Bad accuracy if you're off middle, but does get quad damage versus mages. Don't hate that.
It does take care of that Mad Ogre's chest in Evelyn in case he finds a different fight, or in case he finds that first.
Yeah. And Skarcerer does take quite a bit of damage here. Finds Odin in the second slot. Let's see, we got Thori, we got a Zeus Rage, we got some darts. There's half the HP off already.
Yeah, gonna throw a Kier 2 Edge's way, probably just to keep him from getting one shot there. Oh, 2 Drain Spears, that'll do it.
Yeah, throws the Hand Axe. Should just need one more good Thor Rage here to finish it off. That's not a good Thor Rage, but it was good enough. Okay. And Rydia is ready to start hunting very soon here.
Needs a little bit more MP for those Blard casts. There's our hook, so there's our way underground. Or one of our potential ways underground. Actually, do we have any? No, I don't believe we have any other checks for underground now.
I mean, there could be a lingering demist either at Waterfall or Mist Cave or, well, Vanilla Magus Sisters, but I don't think even Flurry would go that far afield looking for a Magma Key.
I mean, no, not Flurry. We have named that after another runner, and it's just completely dropping my mind right now as our runners exchange positions. Noobtree's headed to Baron, and Skarcerer is headed to. Now here's the weird thing: going to pick up that strength ring, which is great, but I believe here that the yellow chocobo position is actually part of the 64 floor glitch, and it's already preset. So if one of our runners happens to tap a yellow chocobo, does that interfere with the 64 floor glitch?
It can. If you've ever seen a vanilla no CW run of the game, there's a little guide that they use, some red bars they put up on each side of the screen for where the yellow chocobo exits. And if it's specifically where the head of it is, the head of it touches a red bar, you have to get another yellow chocobo and release it again until it lines up. So very much do not want to touch those if you can help it at all. And yeah, chat pointing out, Rex Banner would make that play. Flurry notoriously hates hook routes, but even he would not do that. That is a Rex Banner special alone. I was just picking on Flurry because he had just said boo hook. Now, I don't think Noobtree got the. Did Noobtree pick up a Bahamut orb in Antlion on the way out? Because I know Skarcerer found 2 of them, one in Evelyn and one in Antlion.
That is a good question, and I am not sure to that answer here. So yeah, we don't know. But then again, we do know that Skarcer did find that Bahamut orb in Eblin Castle. And I mean, the big thing here really is, again, it's Cecil. We've got the guy. We've got 3 chests in there, which very much could deploy an item for him. I believe that Noobtree is most likely to hit that, as Skarcer does use the orb that we are just talking about there.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, I believe that Eblin is a play that that Noobtree will make here.
Yeah, because we also only have 3 characters. And even though they are 3 good characters, well, you'd like to have all the XP you can get on them before facing down nasty hook routes. You could go get an Edward. He's up on Hobbs. But probably not going to meaningfully improve your chances.
No, I mean, he's good to take a hit maybe, but that's about it right there.
Yeah. Chat asking about the 64 floor glitch. It is a vanilla glitch in the game. Final Fantasy IV vanilla uses 2 different kinds of doors. There's one that is a straightforward advance to this room door, and there's another one that is a return door. Final Fantasy IV can only count to 64 floors. So if you go through 64 forward doors without doing the return thing, you end up getting into weird negative overflowed or underflowed floors. I'm not a programmer. That reach out into other parts of the game code and memory to decide where you are going and what is happening to you. There's a vanilla speedrun that uses this to skip a bunch of cutscenes, get food to learn an enemy skill that kills anything, and one-shot Zeromus. What our runners will be using it for is to access a variety of rooms that they may not have access to. The community is familiar with warps through Dwarf Castle that'll take you directly to Zeromus, directly to the Ribbon Room, to the Crystal Room in Sealed Cave, to Cave Bahamut, to the Super Cannon Room, and to Hummingway Cave if you really want to shop. There may be more that our runners know about that I don't know, but we're going to keep an eye out for those once we do get underground and what our runners, when our runners start running up and down staircases in Dwarf Castle. Did I forget anything about that night, dude?
No, not at all. But you know far more. You are definitely more learned of that topic than I am here. What I have found here is, though money seems to be a little bit tight, we have found that it is happy hour in Troya there, as the item shop has drinks.
Ooh.
But they are mildly expensive at 5K a pop here, so
that sounds like another good reason to do the Eblin fights. Just because, if you get 2 crystal swords, well, you can sell one of them. Please enjoy.
Yeah, we did also see Mistcave and Waterfall were demist and Plague respectively, so those are completely off the table.
Dark Imps and Plague. You said demist twice.
Wow, okay. I
Yeah,
got something on the brain here.
When you said they were demist, I'm like, wait, what? No. And then you said Plague, and I'm like, okay, gotcha, yeah. We have not seen a demist yet, so no weaseling out of the hook route for these runners just now.
We do still have that pigtail turn in, because you did mention that the pigtail is part of that key item there, so our runners still do have 1 technical out here.
Right. Scar gonna make that same peak, gonna see that Plague. And Noobtree may actually be challenging. Are we going to... Oh, they did not like that baby level 1 Iridia.
No, not at all here. Ooh, that's going to be blaster counter. Okay, didn't hit anybody. That's fine there. That's really the scariest part of this Black Cat. Well, actually, there's more scaries out of there, but yeah, any hit that does not kill the Black Cats, unfortunately gets blaster countered here. Speaking of money...
Yeah, okay. God, I don't like them having outs. I don't like them having a bigger party. I wanted a small party hook route, and the game is just bailing our runners out. Uh, yeah, with again a tiered treasure system on this flag set, you are going to want to do this treasury. And that's an optimistic place to put that hovercraft, because note, you'd still have to move that to go down that cave. I think Scar is hoping to find another way underground, and thus have that in position so it doesn't interfere with the 64 floor glitch later.
Yeah, it is. Buying a few Cure 3s and apparently really wants out of. I was thinking just going to sell some items there just so we wouldn't have nearly as many zonks there. We have a very confused level 1 child now.
Yeah, I like, you want to purge your inventory here before you go through the treasury. Ooh, assassin knife. That could be helpful for dealing with these monsters in boxes down the road.
Oh, very much so.
Assassin knife, chat, does have a death proc if you time it right. That edge, especially a speedy edge, can usually land on the foes down here in Evelyn Castle.
Yep, Noobtree gets through the fight here. Gets a lot of levels here, which is already worth the price of admission here. I do believe got a life glitch as well. Glass hat, that'll keep somebody safe.
Yeah, very, very strong physical defense. Also has a strange property I learned about a few weeks ago, that it will protect you from on-hit status effects. Ribbon protects you from ones that are cast. Glass hat protects you from ones that are on hit. So it has a slight extra utility. This treasury, protect ring, life staff, hourglass, a full moon chakram for back rowing that edge. Some goodies here, I think.
And here we are with the Mad Ogre fight. So I do, well, obviously, yeah, they've got the Rune Axe from the... Oh, but we also apparently have an Artie Bow mute arrows, because that looks like damage from Artie Bow mute arrows there.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the arrows that the ogres have a vulnerability to. Mad ogres are both giant type and mage type. So if you have an elven bow, if you have, it's charm arrows. There we go.
Charm arrows, yeah.
If you have elven bow, charm arrows, mute arrows, ogre axe, poison axe, rune axe, mute knife, charm claw, any of these things will get you a quad damage boost. Very, very quick kill on them. Rydia gets all the XP, and there's a real stick for our paladin.
Yeah, that's probably the swan song for our Artie Bow here when Noobtree puts the because I mean with that we've already got the back row glitch on Cecil there. So yeah, that's a big stick. We'll be there in a minute. Noobtree also did just find that Bahamut orb. So hey, even Rydia's online now.
Yeah, so not only equalized, but I would dare say has surpassed Scar in strict party output. But given Noobtree's routing, I'm wondering if he forgot about the pink tail.
Now, Scar's checking boxes here, and I'm kind of wondering if he's looking for the Flame Dog on the way up here.
I mean, I don't know how good the scaling on Flame Dog chest is on T Semi-Pro. Oh, not going to check at the Trident for it, though. Just the two that are kind of along the way. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it makes sense to leave the Charm Arrows on for one more fight, because you'll get quad damage versus the Staleman with them as well.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense there.
And it helps Cecil keep speedy alongside with Edge from the bonus agility.
Oh, we found a ninja hat, too.
So I believe this is the final Myab of Eblin. Do we get a big payoff here? Oh.
No, bigger stick. Okay.
All right. Well, you can now either sell the Excal for Bacchus wine or eat it at an offending enemy. That seems pretty good. And Noobtree is getting back in the airship. Apparently remembered that Pinktail while doing the Myabs.
No K-Mab this time around. I don't think we have any of the flags that actually have K-Mab there. So we're not going to have that. But yeah, two big sticks in Eblin. It feels like Adamant Cup all over again. But that's fine, right?
Yeah. Now, Adamant Cup Experience is another one of the All-Fork Cup flag sets. This shouldn't feel like that just yet. But yeah, notably on the key item flags for this flag set, aside from that pink tail one, Other big thing to note is the summon pool is not in play. You don't have to do your Feymarch fights. You don't have to do the Odin Throne. Uh, and it is unweighted, which community member Antidel did run a whole bunch of simulations to see where things would be distributed. Long story short is if you get moon access, the moon is a good place to go. Normally, the chances of it having a whole ton of them is reduced by the weighting that board does. When it's unweighted, those chances pop right back up.
Yeah. Now, as Leviathan goes down on Skarcerer's side, I wanted to kind of ask you here: is there a world here, as we do have this team here, where, yeah, sure, it's a treasury and all that, but you already have your big stick for Cecil. You've got an edge that's got pretty well. You have your Bahamut for Rydia. Is there a world where you just say, I'm gonna fade Zot. I'm gonna go underground now.
I think there absolutely is. But I think the bigger concern here is the fact that you only have 3 party members and your anchor is a speedster. That combo makes hook routes far more dangerous than they normally are. So I think that you could even honestly, I think Noobtree could have faded this treasury. I think he'll be happy, especially with the hourglass and just the stuff for selling. But I think you could have faded this treasury, but still would have wanted to come up here for the characters.
Speaking of characters, I believe that was a well, it is a white mage, so it's actually one of the characters you really want. Edward is attempting to get into the party again, and while we do have a bow for him, that is unfortunately not. Well, actually, no, there is a party limit of 5 here. Sorry, I've been watching some of the other ones. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't there 4? No, it's all 5 here. So Eddie does get in for a little bit. And Skarcer has decided that that spoon is going straight into this pale dim.
A little surprised here, given that we do have a hook route pending, and there can be some nasty fights there. But at the same time, this guarantees you get XP on your Porum and your Edward. I think they both got slingshotted here. Maybe not. Maybe not. But but yeah, just getting out of this fight and getting back to your Mayabs and your Path Underground. We know a crystal sword awaits them if they return to Evelyn Castle. So yeah, I don't hate using it here, but I think you could still end up living a life of regret depending on what's down this hook route.
Yeah, that's very much. Again, I'm like, well, maybe we don't have to use that that Edward, as we still don't know what is going in. And yeah, actually, I got 2 protect rings out of that. Sure, they're not crystal rings and all that, but I mean, second best arm piece in the game, at least if you aren't trying to get like rune rings for plus magic.
Oh yeah, very good. They give the Fire Ice Lightning resist. They have great physical defense as well. And with the Excal rewards, Skarcer not going back into Evelyn Castle, so will be maybe a little behind on the Cecil damage, but does forgo spending all that time actually fighting the Mayabs.
Yeah, I mean, there is obviously a gulf between Excal and Crystal Sword, but I mean, it's far better than a gulf between a Excal and a lightsaber, or an Excal and a root axe, or a Crystal Sword, and both of those. I can talk today, I swear. But yeah, the Excal at least keep Skarcer at least close in the DPS race here.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would want to find at this point would actually be a heroine robe. We pulled a life staff from the treasury, so you can counteract the willpower penalty of that very easily with the life staff. Right now, if we want to keep Porum speedy, you kind of have to put an Artemis bow on her, but we don't have corresponding body armor, a white shirt to make up for the willpower decrease there. But we definitely want speed on our white mage to keep a pace with edge and whatever we have going on our Cecil.
Yeah, speaking of weaponry, Skarcer did sell out a little bit of the farm. None of the biggest items there. Did pick up a Mura in the Evelyn weapon shop there.
I like it. I like it. It also has an agility penalty, so that also kind of... Hey, hello there. That's a Fusoya. And that is either Ruby or Elements at the Ruby spot. I think Edward is out of here. Even if you're not learning all your foo spells, you're gonna have a lot of utility just through how many bosses we've done on this overworld.
Yeah, even if you were to miss every one of the maybe spells there, Cure 4 is still Cure 4.
Yeah, exclamation point. Goodbye, Edward. Yeah, don't even keep that gear. That is all garbage.
No, that's an inventory boss waiting to happen right there.
Yeah. Not even looking at the Myabs here. Feeling the team is strong and confident enough to break on through. I like this again. You have Excal for your Cecil. You have Full Moon Mura on your edge. I think this is, and you have a nice stack of Bacchus wine. I think it's good to not be doing Myabs at this point.
Yeah, there's definitely a greed aspect to it there, but yeah, there is a place where you do need to stop, and again, we're not seeing Adamant armors. A heroin robe would be great, but at this point, you're kind of, if you're looking for more Myabs, it's like, okay, what am I going to get out of here that makes me faster? And really, about the only answer to that, in Skarcerer's case, is going to be Crystal Sword, Avenger. A white shirt is great, but it's not going to speed you up.
Yeah, oh, double Murasame. Okay. And taking Ninja Hat and Crystal Ring off. So this edge is actually like relatively slow. It's kind of cool that Skarcerer's put together a really nice loadout for keeping the team agility balanced. Not going to leave an Artemis Bow on Cecil, though. Once that Excal does take the Crystal Ring for speed. And I'm guessing we're about to see at least one Artemis Bow go on a wizard here.
Paladin Shield. Can't remember last time I've seen that one equipped.
Well, maybe not in Final Fantasy IV.
True. Yes. Yeah. 2 games into the future, it has evolved into the best piece of weaponry or armor ever. Well, okay, maybe like Adamant Light, but still really good.
Yeah. All right, and at the first spot, we have the Turtle. This is a lot friendlier than Turtle being at the second spot. I mean, still punches like a truck, but the wave can't do more than what, like 240 damage here?
Yeah, something like that there, which I mean, still is going to drop that Porum there, but I mean, we did see the opening punch there doing 900 plus of Ridia's 255 hit points there, so... Oh, yeah, got it back to 300 there. Now that Berserk Cecil should carry the fight from here, but...
Yeah, sorry, I said 240 base. It's 240 to 360 if it's not taking damage yet, right? 4 to 6% of HP. But yeah, Cecil got the crunch going on. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, even with some supplementary viruses and edge swings here should not be a problem. And yep, is down. So we will see if Skarcerer decides to save. I did see Berserk and Nuke at 1500 there.
Berserk, Quake, and Nuke. 3 of the spells that you don't want to miss. They're all there. Oh, okay. Well, the Fu may be not having the greatest impact on this particular seed.
Fu has had it with being relegated to the sidelines for most of these tournaments here, so yeah, that's that. Judge Joe, you probably did see a Soul Excal. It was one of 2. We also have a Crystal Sword with the guy there, at least on Noobtree's side, and we know where drinks are, so yeah, I could see selling an Excal or 2.
Yeah, and Noobtree also has still preserved his spoon, so...
Yes.
Plenty of darts in the tank if you need them. Oh, and it is elements, not Ruby. Al the punch. Paladin Shield will actually pay off here with its undead resist if Cecil is the one who's getting punched.
Yeah, we're going for reflect strats here. We're saying we don't want to see any of the other elements here. We're just going to deal all the damage here to Mylon here through the reflect spell here, so we won't see any phase transitions. we're just going to see nukes here. It's actually kind of sad that this is actually one of the points in time where I believe you would want Fire 3 over the nuke for that bonus damage.
Yeah, if you had like perfect RA1 strats, maybe nuke still ends up being a little better. But here you're going to want oh, and we do transform into the Ruby phase.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but here we are.
Yeah, you had not done quite as much damage as you thought you had here. Now, I will note that if Rydia and Porum don't gain XP here, it's not the end of the world. This is a split XP boss. Mylon and Ruby count as one enemy. Kanatso and Valvalis count as another. So you're not getting the full, like, 20-ish thousand you'd normally get here anyway. Only 9757. Though don't weep over the children not getting their sippy cups. They'll be fine in due time.
Yep. Now we did lose 2 foo spells there. I believe we saw a lot of dots, so I do believe we missed a few foo spells here. Of note here that Noobtree has gone from kind of being outside here to is just picking up at the bosses where Skarcerer left off. And speaking of, well, maybe not speaking of, but hey, that's a Stardust Rod.
Yeah, very nice item to find. Did Skarcerer take a couple steps right to peek the boss? I was so
Yes,
excited
he
by the
did.
startup.
That was
Okay,
he did. That was Bahamut at the top of Zot there.
gotcha. So relatively easy free fight up there, but no tower key yet. So probably put it in the back of your head and don't worry about it for now.
Noobtree getting the wonderful information about 1500 HP on the Foo here, as he is also getting into this fight. I wonder if he's going to take it a little bit differently. And yeah, that's a berserk going on with Crystal Sword Cecil there, saying, I don't need these reflex strats. I'm just gonna punch my way through, and well, can't really blame him.
And here we go. I believe Skarcerer just set up for a ribbon room warp. If I read that RGB value correctly. Admittedly, I was also trying to watch the Noobtree fight at the time. So again, for your fun little channel point gamba, for those of you who are here early, it is combined number of times the two runners enter the glitched world. Skarcerer looks to be ready to put the first one on the board. Try counting to 63 along with them. Your first time up the stairs into the weapon armor shop here is 3, back down is 4. When you come back up on number 63, you'll then enter Cafe Howdy, and then step back out, and you will begin your adventure through negative floors. If they get both halves of the forge, that is go mode technically.
Yeah.
With the pass hanging out here, no darkness crystal required, so we may be in for a lot of warp checks here. Blues Eclipse asking in the chat, how do you get back down from the moon? The thing is that as long as you've not dilly-dallied on the save menu screen, the game will still think you are in the dwarf castle zone. So you'll be able to cast exit to get back out of where you are. And when you cast exit, again, if I'm correct that Skarcerer is heading to the ribbon room here, they will open both boxes, cast exit, and be back outside Dwarf Castle. So in we go, and now we're in the fun place.
I have seen it so many times, and I still couldn't explain it to you, so I'm going to defer to you on anything 64 floating witch right now.
Well, again, I only know the gist of it, but the key thing is, as long as all your other stuff's in the right place, Skarcerer's choice of window color is going to set their pointer to a certain location, which I believe is the ribbon room here. But we have to wait. I think it's like the 43rd floor going backwards through everything. Noobtree taking a different tack. Gonna get some freebies here. A little more direct option.
Yeah, I mean, with the famous bosses not counting here, someone said, "Oh my, that's a darkness crystal." So that doesn't completely invalidate this, but it does put a question. Hourglass 2's also in our Famart shop there, but that's probably what Skarcerer didn't want Noobtree to find.
Yeah, and does get a Magma key and a Luca key. Neither of which necessary, does put key items on the board, but Skarcerer can also do a warp to just go to Sealed Cave and get its item if they so choose. I believe Noobtree is probably looking for Sirens now to go with those Hourglasses, hoping to grind this team with probably Gold Dragon fights on the moon, if I had to guess, or just some quick eggs to power the team up. Because again, this is K unweighted, so getting to the moon and doing those fights is very good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually doing just a few eggs in either of our runners' shoes here. I mean, both of them do have Cecil with a large stick, so I mean, the good news about that is you really don't even need the hourglasses at that point, as Cecil will just generally one-shot eggs anyway.
And this is kind of cute. Skarcerer is going to take that Luca key and just go in on foot. I think this may actually be a little faster to see the item than doing the 64 floor glitch. And it's also going to allow them to fight the boss if it is a Demus. Of course, we know this cannot be a Darkness Crystal, because Luca Key was on the moon, but we are looking for 2 terminal key items, a Legend Sword and an Adamant Ore. So it's a cheeky place to check, and I kind of like it.
Speaking of, I do believe we do need to move our counter up to 2 here, as I believe Noobtree was setting up for the same thing Skarcerer did. I think that orange color does mean that he is also aiming for the ribbon room, correct?
It looks a little different than Skarcerer's did. Admittedly, sometimes things can look different because of playing on hardware versus emulator, different capture devices, but it looks a little oranger to me. So I don't know. We'll see where he ends up with his warp.
This is going to be a little bit of a spooky boss fight if Skarcerer decides to keep it here, and it is going to be required. That's what it's going to be.
Yep, gotta have that to forge, but can we deal with the fight with our relatively under-leveled team? We got some juice. This looks a little gross, but the big thing here is you have a paladin. It's safe.
Yeah, if I'm recalling, Skarcerer's Cecil might still have that glass hat as well here. We do have Fu to dodge some of the counters as well. Can't really berserk the Cecil, unfortunately, at this point, and you really don't want to, assuming you want to keep everybody upright, you really don't want to trip those basic counters here. So, okay, Cecil's setting up to standard cover. Oh yeah, we got Bahamut too. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, so got plenty of damage output here without even having to swing a melee and eat a needle counter.
Meanwhile, I'm keeping attention on the antlion fight here. I am keeping track of Noobtree here. Very interested to see where he ends up landing here.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that Skarcerer has a slightly different combo that also leads to the Ribbon Room. So that's another reason the colors may be a little different. Ribbon Room's the most sensible place to go first because you get 2 items and I think it is impossible to get soft locked there via not being able to exit or warp. Almost there. Hey! So that's 2.
Now the question is, no, I've got to go look at our flag string again here. Okay, so there is not a warp glitch. So Noobtree is going to have to make that decision, that play, to head down to the Luca Cave sooner rather than later because we can't 64 past the Adamant Rock.
No, I mean you can get to that room.
Oh,
There,
okay.
you can go just steal it. The problem is there is a chance that you get stuck in there and cannot exit and cannot warp, depending on what else you've done in the seed. Like, I think the big thing there is how much time you spent on the save menu.
And Martin's calling it out here. Says Noob is warping into the sealed cave with the Luca key in hand.
Yeah, that would be the 25, 2, and 1 RGB value. Again, I mean, you're not going to have to fight that antlion, but yeah, I wonder if you even care about the prospect of a looming demiss. Like, we didn't even see Noobtree look at the Fey March fights, right? Like, so that's probably just the last consideration on either runner's mind right now.
Yeah, yeah, for matter of fact, yeah, that did not happen there. Skarcerer picking up a few more boxes, though. Gotta get the news that Darkness Crystal. Don't know if they are really going to... and actually, Skarcerer is going to take a peek for us here, and that was a blue robe, and... Okay, so that's Water Hag and Octomam. Okay.
It could be Gauntlet. We've not seen Gauntlet yet, but but either way.
Oh, I'm...
What?
It's like the same match, and I have seen Bleed from another one I was watching there. Yes,
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
we have not seen all Gauntlet there, but Skarcerer is headed towards the tower now, as Noobtree should be getting into the area of going to see... excuse me, sorry about that. What is at, or is going head towards that adamant that we know is at the Luca Cave.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this keyless tower play because, I mean, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I saw Skarcerer save outside the tower, and this could just be a big old whammy up here, right?
It very well could. I mean, we know the boss. The boss is free-ish. I mean, we know it's Bahamut there. I don't know what our Starvale count is at here. Fu probably knows well at least to keep a Berserking Cecil alive at the very least, though. Probably.
Oh, we are saving up here, though. But again, I mean, this could just be, another Excal, and who cares about them, right?
We've got to throw some sometime, right?
Yeah. And we are up to our third glitch floor visit here. What did I run that Scamba for again? 0 to 3 and 4 plus. And it was roughly a 3-to-1 split with people thinking they would only go 0 to 3. So we're gonna see how this plays out.
I am fairly surprised on how much has already gone on here, as Noobtree does pick up that Adamant Rock. So we do at the very least have half of the puzzle, and I'm wondering, again, but then again, we have the Darkness Crystal, so the moon is online, minus the Ribbon Room, which we already have. Down
And
below
it's
here,
unweighted.
yeah, it's unweighted. The thing is, I mean, the early part of the seed, our runners cleaned out most of the overworld of Blue Planet. We really only know about Sheila 1 right now. We don't have a pan. This Keyless Tower, and I don't think either one of them have actually done Dwarf proper.
This looks to be what Noobtree's about to do. Coming in the left staircase here instead of the right one. I thought we were about to go ahead and get a fourth No 64 glitch, but goes to the item shop instead and into the actual fight. Here we go.
the all summoned dwarf shop there, as we have the two big orbs only there. We do also have a karate man in the back of Dwarf 1 there, so should be no problem for Noobtree's power here, as I believe that does look like Skarcerer is just going to damage race this Bahamut, and with the power that he has, should be successful in doing so.
Oh, they have, by the way, they have. And correct me, I did not pay any attention to who was at Dwarf 2 when we were up in Zot. Does anyone remember in the chat?
boy, that is a good question. Obviously we saw it.
Well, we'll see it again in a minute.
Oh, well, that's an interesting Baron key. I can't tell you that boss's identity, but I can tell you that CPU is hanging out at the Bygone spot on Baron Castle. I remember that one at least.
Yeah, I don't like that check though here because again we have K summons not on, and Baron's one of those long checks with cutscenes and stuff. You don't need the character. Your team's already golden eventually for Zeromus, in my opinion. So Baron key feels a little bad here.
And that looks like either guards or officer soldier there. So, oh, yeah, officer soldier. But I mean, on the other hand, I mean, you've already put your you've already put some of your eggs into this basket of running up tower here. Part of me is just saying, it's up here. I feel like I should be committing to the bit here.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe for what it's worth, I do think that we still get double XP at 10 key items, in addition to that max level bonus, which won't apply because both our runners have taken a foo. So we're at 3, 6, 9. Yeah, I kind of see keeping it for that reason alone. Let me double check. Extra XP when under leveled, and there is no other adjustment to XP. So okay, yeah. Oh, Skarcerer coming back to Dwarf. Are we going to get number 4 on the glitches?
If you were going to glitch your way somewhere, where would you put yourself this time?
Tower key check would, just so you know you don't have to come back to the blue planet for it once you go to the moon.
Okay.
Zonk for Noobtree, just a protect ring. I think we got 2 of those from the Treasury earlier. Gia, you stinky.
I mean, I do like me a good protect ring, but enough is enough here. Scarcer going to repeat that here, and Noobtree is flying off. I'm kind of actually really surprised. Okay, Noobtree's headed for the tower as well. Nobody's checked our Sheila freebie.
Yeah, I mean, she has less value on Kaon weighted. The bigger thing to me is having the Darkness Crystal in the pocket and not going moon. Like, I mean, chat pointing out that if you get to 10 key items, you can sub the foo out for someone else, get massive XP on your team by fighting a couple gold dragons. But at the same time, we know we only need a legend sword for go mode.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've only seen 6 of our 8 distinct here, I believe, because Eddie is the only character. No, wait, we have seen Sid as well. He was on top of the tower, so we do have one more character outstanding. But you know, it brings up a good point here. Is say Scar goes to the moon here, and what happens if you just head up to the lunar throne there and Rose is waiting for you?
I mean, it's hard to ditch nuke here, but admittedly, getting rid of nuke's a lot easier if you ditch said nuke, because then you get the bonus XP until you're around level 45 or so. So yeah, I don't know. Naidu said top of tower, but he's right here at Dwarf Castle. They were just happening simultaneously, and they're happening simultaneously again. So
not top tower. I meant Zot actually. I believe he was Zot too.
Oh, you thought he was at Zot? Okay.
Yeah.
No, Zot was Edward and Plum.
Oh no, Zot was Edward. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Like, I know I saw Sid.
I think it's because you were literally watching Dwarf Castle while top of tower was happening, and we're literally watching it a second time. So there's nothing but reruns on this race. Ugh.
Oh, also, oh yeah, we knew Food got Quake.
All right, so after this, are we going to see Sheila 1? Are we going to see Baron Castle? Are we just going to go make the play at the moon? Lots of room for divergence here between our runners.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said was best. I mean, I think even before the tower key, knowing that we had darkness in hand, and again, the K unweighted, especially what you said at the beginning of the match there, yeah, I'm very surprised we haven't seen a actual moon play here. You can't tell who's winning. To be entirely fair, uh, they're probably roughly about pretty well even here. In fact, both of them really have most of the checks that the other have done here. Scar might be a very slight bit in the lead here, but given where our given what we're looking for, it's anybody's race at this point.
Yeah. And notably, Scar is ignoring the Sheila 1 check. We'll see if Noobtree makes a pass through the Sylph Cave. Skarcerer chasing the Baron Key, figuring that they committed all that time to running up the tower and fighting Bahamut. Don't want to leave it hanging. I don't blame them. But this does open a myriad of paths that Noobtree can chase as well, and it looks like Sheila 1 is on the table for him.
Yeah, more divergence here. Oh, crystal rings for sale. I do like those.
Agility manipulation on a Sea Hero seed can be shockingly important.
Okay.
And of course, the Sylphs will never have an item, even if we get a pan and come back. So Sheila 1 having the pan is probably the most annoying thing here, because you're doing all this walking for... I mean, a 10th key item's good, but you aren't getting your Sylph bonus on these flags.
Yeah, it's just really hard right now, knowing that, again, both of them are just that Legend Sword away from go at this point. So any key item check you leave behind at this point is something that's just going to sit in your head for a while.
Yeah. There's also the concern of, do I want to sit through a whale cutscene, a flying to the moon cutscene, a crystal palace dais cutscene, when you could just get your go mode down here? And we do have a grind available. I mean, worst case scenario, if you don't find sirens, you can do trapdoors in the sealed cave.
What level of trapdoors again?
You know, there's a wiki for that, and I will look. wiki.ff4fe.com. What a site. They are level 58, so I don't think you're getting... I think even this team's a little too strong to get bonus XP from them.
It is, but it has a little kind of maybe we do know the whole putting up a wall in front of the maybe an early grind here. Sheila with the rat tail here, Baron with a demist. Okay, bonus rounds for everybody.
Yeah, all right. So Baron, talking about the time committal, at least you're getting a twofer out of it. And a Zonk for Noobtree package has some value on one of the All Fort Cup flag sets, but not this one.
Unfortunate indeed. Do we see our last character? We do see our last character. Our last character is Palom.
Huh. I mean...
And Skarcerer says, yes, I will take that Palom, and adds him to their party.
Who did they ditch? Sorry, I was looking at the, I was still looking at the wiki.
It was a Palom for Porum switch.
Alright, so you have Fu to cover any white magic you need in the interim, and you have the prospect of triple nuke for killing your Zeromus and bosses on the moon if a stronger grind opens itself up to you. Yeah. I find this trade agreeable.
That said, inside the Baron pot, we have... Well, okay, I guess we don't have to glitch into the tower key room anymore.
Yep. And with the pass, I don't think we'll be glitching to Zeromus, so we probably will end up calling it at 3 glitches done. But we're not going to call the Gamba until the seed's over.
No, I mean, is 64 glitching your way to Z faster than the whale cutscene? I'm not sure. However, the Demus was also a Zonk there in a Soma drop, and no Kane even to give the MP2 because we're going to lean into one meme at least this seed.
I mean, Fu will love that Soma drop, getting to where you can do a 4th nuke or a 5th Cure 4.
Yeah, definitely the character that probably wants it the most. We're not talking about Utella. You don't exist. You can't hurt me.
And Scar is deciding, making decisions. But I think after you've committed this time, Tower Key is the place to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're just following the rabbit hole, and sometimes it just continues to be a hole, and sometimes it's your legend sword at the bottom of it.
And the nice thing here too is that Skarcerer will now know that there is the only thing pending on the blue planet after this. Pardon me. Okay, there's still the pan at Sheila 2. There's still well, we know Rat Tail now is a song. But Twin Harp would be, as long as you do your Sheila and you do your Rat Tail. When you go to the moon, the only thing you would have to consider coming back for would be the Twin Harp. And what a way to kick off the tournament. Dolls in the cannon room. We have like 1 billion ways of killing them.
You really hate sometimes to see multiple sprites in there, but no All-Gauntlet Forest yet, so we don't have anything restricting that. I mean, the Legend Sword on All-Gauntlet Masa Altar is still alive, for those of you who love that kind of thing.
Yeah, and Judge Joe in the chat saying, week's good, but if you have an hourglass, you probably don't need Fu. I can see that as well for the XP slinging.
Yeah, I
and we
believe
did have hourglass.
I believe Sirens are the only big ticket J item we haven't found here yet. Noobtree doing the same thing though, swapping twin for twin here.
More DACA, more DACA. You want the output. Cecil can handle your defense. Everyone else, more power.
You keep saying that word, and I'm gonna wog here sooner or later.
So, our next big revelation for those of you watching will be Skarcerer's reward from this Tower Key.
Yeah, and after that, if this zonks out, we know our answer is on the moon. There is nothing left on the planet here.
Bated breath. Drinks! Noobtree here making a cute check to go to the Kaipo item shop. Again, would still love to see Sirens, and it's S Wildish, so they can basically be anywhere. Skarcerer foregoing Sheila as a check. I like this because at this point you faded her so long. It's probably like, if she has it, I've probably lost anyway. Let me get my butt to the moon now.
Agreed, actually. Yeah, it's both of them are probably feeling pretty bad here in terms of the whole we followed this rabbit hole, we've been completely out of here, we found a whole bunch of nothing on the blue planet aside from the adamant rock.
Which you found by cheating the moon.
Yeah, yep.
Not cheating,
either way.
perfectly legal, but but yeah, like again, it's that K unweighted choice. If you get that early darkness crystal, are you struggling to avoid cutscenes, or are you just going to chase the fact that the moon has the weight? Both our runners did see 2 key items in the ribbon room, which on a normal weighted flag set, I would be like, oh no, I'm not going back to the moon. But here, it looks like it's biting them a little bit.
Yeah, we have seen all of our characters, unfortunately, so we do know that whoever is showing up here is a dupe of some sort, so I'm going to guess both their parties are set at this point. Noobtree's still hitting other item shops looking for, well, there's camping at least, I guess.
Yeah, I think at this point, I am comfortable saying that Skarcerer has a decent lead here. Noobtree's check of Sheila into Rat Tail did not pay off, and has thus put him a couple minutes behind. Notably, though, if he does find Sirens checking these Blue Planet item shops exhaustively, he may be able to turn it around a bit by just getting the team stronger faster.
Now, I do believe I saw one of the two find at least one siren on the. I believe it was in the Tower of Babel, Lower Babel there. Now,
Oh,
my whole
okay.
question is here. Well, I guess we're not getting the boost here because Fu is blocking that. But I mean, still, it's 120,000 XP
I mean,
or
if you double
90,000.
life, if you double life glitch, 10 key items, double life glitch, slingshot if any of them are still babies, which I think that Palom is.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of XP for the taking here if you do. Prof Nest asking in the chat, why is it 4 objectives? We did a little channel point gamba at the start of the stream based on how many combined times our runners would engage with the 64 floor hierarchy glitch. It was 0 to 3 for choice 1, 4 plus for choice 2. So far, we are sitting squarely at 3.
I saw three sirens in Skarcerer's inventory there. Only one hourglass though. But that is enough to, at the very least, get you off the ground here. So is standing in front of that Mura altar. Noobtree is headed up to pick up that tower key. Yes, okay, Noobtree is not been to the tower key yet.
And did not get a life glitch off. G-Life is on this flag set. Yeah, I was double checking. But at this point, may figure I do have enough power overall. I just need like, you can probably struggle your way through bosses at this point, just with your Fu and your Cecil and your Edge and your Bahamut summon. Like, you have strength, but you want speed as well. So
Yeah, Palom came up with 22 levels still, even with no life glitch there. So at level 32, will have the staples of Virus and Quake at the very least, and a free Lip Bolt there. I mean, you could technically take another Siren here, but with no hourglasses, that's a dangerous prospect. A mildly less dangerous prospect is a cover Cecil against this Water Hag.
yeah, I really like not. I like that Skarcerer only healed up Cecil there, so that both Rydia and Palom in the front row would still be covered. There are bosses that would have punished this choice, but you know, we've already seen Leviathan. Ogo's out there somewhere and would probably be mean about it. But this fight, perfect, exactly what they wanted to see.
Yeah, and I believe with the double XP from the 10 key items here, this is going to be another infusion of roughly 120,000 again, with no slingshot for the Palom this time, but yeah, 118,000. So 3 to 4 levels for everybody still,
Yeah.
except for food.
And we're entering our goth phase. Nice little T-shirt for one of the children.
Mm.
But again, the bigger deal is that was like a 3-minute window where Skarcerer just gained 238,000 XP, more on the Palom. So that's what you like to see when you're trying to get Z ready and ready for all these other bosses.
Yeah, even then, I mean, we still have the bottom of the moon to go, and even though we've cleaned out that ribbon room, that boss is still sitting there for 200k as long as it's not on a split boss here. And I believe we've seen Dolls, Golbez, and Elements already. And Lugae, I believe. No, we haven't seen Lugae.
Yeah. And as far as enemies you can kind of cheese and get value from, Dark Imps are at Mist Cave. We already fought Kaipo guards at Dwarf Castle. But Baron guards are still on the table, and they are very life glitchable.
Yeah, that's absolutely right there. I mean, we can get really froggy and still find that alt gauntlet with a few life glitchable enemies, but I think Skarcerer might have wanted a few more hourglasses if that comes to pass there, because, well, at least in a place where you can do some of that, because some of these moon combats are not really good for that either. Most of the dragons, I do believe, are not. If it's the Masa altar, the evil masks definitely do not get stopped. And there's our sirens.
Yeah, after checking basically every shop on the blue planet, they were here for you all along. That has to feel pretty bad for Noobtree. Uh, and at this point, he is a pretty clean one boss, one fight behind of Skarcerer.
Yeah, that
So,
was a 20 pack of sirens there. I don't know if we're gonna need all those, but it's not like I've never overbought an item playing any of these games.
yeah. And Noobtree does have the hourglasses as well. So, the biggest thing that could pay off for Noobtree here would be like, I don't think there's any world where he gets his crystal first, but he may be the first one to get all his children imbued with ultimate power.
Yeah, he's definitely been a little higher on the power scale here. And I'm kind of wondering, man, part of me, again, I'm like, well, what if that's a Rosa? I'm like, what if I take that Porum back and, Nuke White is still a thing, right?
Yeah, I think right now, as we're seeing on Skarcerer's side, though, having the extra HP pool of the Fu might be important. This Ogopogo is hitting hard. Good news for Noobtree. Going to the bottom of the moon first. So no longer behind a boss fight that we know only has a black shirt payoff. That equalizes things quite a bit here.
Oh no. Greyface, 100% of the time, all the time, unfortunately. Got a mass life cast when okay, but Ogopogo's down, Cecil is still standing, everything is still alright with the world there. That Asura didn't miss so much as that Asura casted the full party life, which Fu appreciated for the 2 seconds before Big Wave came out.
Yep. And we do find the pan here, so Skarcerer has a twofer now waiting by virtue of not having done Sheila yet. Are we going to save Scummit? Looks like not, because already pulling out the camping gear.
Yeah, in Skarcerer's position, I'd be tempted, not knowing Sheila won. In Noobtree's position, knowing that there's only one check there, I would be quite a lot more. Not sure I want to take that. Noobtree is busting out the sirens. Does have 11 hourglasses, so plenty for a grind and then some here.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to go all the way to Nuke on the kids here. It actually surprised me a bit more if Noobtree does this, given that he has a crystal sword. Skarcerer rocking the X-Cal, which is good enough to beat the game, of course. But with a crystal sword and a Fu, you don't really need to get your kids to Nuke.
Oh my,
Noobtree...
that's, well...
Oh, and Noobtree even has the spoon for darting later that Skarcerer spent on the Pale Dim.
Yeah, I was looking. I crossed my screens, looking between them, like, oh wait, is that the? No, that's just a pain, man.
And this is not the All Forked Cup flag set with no free bosses on. This one, you only have to eat 3 waves, which is still no small task. But yeah, one of the other ones, this fight becomes a lot scarier. And that's go mode for Skarcerer.
Yeah, that is. So now, I mean, Noobtree's got a decision as soon as he is done with his grind here. Again, it's so close, and I believe Noobtree is actually up in the grind here for the moment, at least. Noobtree finishes grind, goes to see that Pain Man, has a little easier time just based on, hey, I've got levels already. Skarcerer is exiting out already. Does have a small amount of sirens. Still has a little bit of a grind left to go. Is heading straight back to the blue planet. Gonna pick up Forge. And I'm not sure after that. Gonna come right back. Maybe find some hourglasses. Not exactly at Z levels yet. Yeah, I know, Joe. You're like, oh, 1200 strats where, but no, not right now.
I'll note that that this would feel a lot cleaner with just the Cecil and the Fu if you did have a properly anchored party.
Oh, this is interesting.
Swapping the Palom for the Porum, taking the time to do that. Again, Edge is our anchor here. That is just a fact that we have going for us. Skarcerer does have 2 Murasames to slow the ninja down a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I almost thought that Skarcer was going to go in and maybe drop the foo for a faster grind, but
Oh,
I
you
put him
know
on
what?
land.
That
Hmm.
Porum might be for?
Oh,
Might be crying at some alerts in Lower Babel to make them easier to steal sirens from.
oh, that's right. Skarcer did not find the Siren Shop. Is going to try to shop there. Found some camping gear. That's actually really big here. As I mean, Noobtree has a realized grind here, and Skarcer is still looking for it.
Yeah, I mean, I love a sketchy Z fight as much as the next person, and Skarcer has the skills to pull them off, but Edge as the anchor just terrifies me, when you're
Hmm.
trying to pull that. Like, if this were Sid as our hero, you buy that curse ring, you go in, you're happy with it, but
Yeah, I believe we even spotted our silk webs out in Troy a ways, I believe.
they were somewhere, and I was surprised that they might have been in Kaipo. Was that when Noobtree made that trip over to Kaipo?
I think I saw illusions there.
Okay.
Oh, those are some apples, some crystal rings, some moon veils.
And that is an extremely good weapon for Edge that you probably don't want to start the fight with it equipped.
Oh no, that's we'll leave you at the top of the inventory and I will swap you in after the battle starts, but I do not want that agility on my edge. Starting the Z fight, no thank you.
Yeah, love to see it though. Like now, you are far less worried about your damage. You really just want Porum to have 1200 HP to survive the nerf Big Bang, and I think you don't have any grinding to do here. I think we're going to see Skarcer go in with the big damage here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean at that point I'd probably just put the life staff on Fu and let him be my white mage, honestly.
yeah. Anyway, Noobtree done grinding. Gonna find this Ogo. Blah. After this, should head down to the Pain Man fight. Has 3200 HP on a Crystal Sword Cecil.
That
But
is
still,
what we know as big damage.
yeah. So, Noobtree at this point cannot die. It's like, I mean, if he doesn't heal before Pain Man, he may take a wipe there, but just exceedingly strong team. But Skarcer's ahead in the foot race.
Does get the big heals off of Asura as well, bluffing up Palom there, going to do some manual berserks here. Skarcer doing some eggs here, I believe has maybe one more. At those levels, maybe Edge picks up a little bit more. I could absolutely, with that one last siren here, Edge at about 2400, Cecil rocking about 3000, and oh, apples on Fu. Okay, yeah, this is, really
It's good.
or I'm sorry, but this is a three-person Z fight.
Yeah, and if Noobtree chases this pan, he is in even more trouble in spite of his team's power.
Also, we have a pass.
Indeed. All right, not saves coming in. That's good news for Noobtree. Skarcerer, what you shopping for?
Uh, Cursories? Maybe?
This is an armor store.
Oh.
Night Dew, this is a Wendy's.
I mean, strength gear, black belts. I mean, we
I
did reset
wonder.
out of power shirts.
I don't know. But here we go. That is a flight to Troya.
Yeah, Noobtree not going to be that far behind. I mean, again, Skarcerer, old hat at this, should be fine given this party setup there. Yeah, there goes the life staff for the Stardust Rod. Yeah, Skarcerer says, yeah, this is my healer now.
Yeah, I mean, even Riddy is a backup here. You land a good Asura cast after the Big Bang, and you're golden.
Yep. Now we're gonna see if Skarcerer checks the item shops here. Again, I swear I saw silk webs. I'm not going to be confirmed on that because Skarcerer is in the pass door, ready to go. Still has that paladin shield. I don't know why I find that funny. But yeah, headed up.
Yep. And Noobtree finds his go mode basically like exactly behind a Sheila 1 into Rat Tail right now. Like the amount of time to walk through Sylph Cave, do Sheila 1, move, well, didn't have to move the hovercraft. Or no, did, yeah.
Yeah, did have to move
Turn
up craft.
Rat Tail, that is like the exact distance behind. But much stronger team. If Skarcerer takes a wipe, Noobtree is back in it. Noobtree will not have to do any further grinding. We'll just get this katana and shake a leg to Zeromus.
Yep. How was Butt? Did Butt lose 2 hours sleep last night? Maybe a little more than 2 hours actually, but I guess in the spirit of things, I have not asked this question in so long, but I get to tonight. And Ben, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
I don't know. This is again. It's on the Galeswift branch, so I know there are some Z sprites that aren't on the main branch. Some very silly ones that we may all be in for a treat. Let's see who we get.
I mean, I'm always up for any kind of new Z sprite, mostly.
At this point, Twitch chat, Skarcerer is in the Zeromus fight, and thus they have a distinct advantage. Noobtree has the stronger team, so Skarcerer is in the lead unless they take a wipe. You don't got time to be shopping when you're 80 minutes into a ZZAC. Zeromus.
Yeah, that is
You and
is
me.
more code. The more code than I know what to do with.
Yeah, you can't be shopping at a time like this. Moonveil, wow.
Yeah, Riddy is queuing up a Quake here and a Silk Web here, so we're gonna get double counters, I believe.
Having it hit Cecil's not quite who you want.
No, another one going on to Cecil would not be great here. Fu has enough HP to walk that one off, though.
Yeah, and the Big Bang cannot do more than 1200 damage because it's been successfully nerfed. We like seeing these big hits going out.
And Noobtree still sorting things around, seeing what he has left for this fight here. Only one wine, but plenty of
You got a 3500 HP Cecil with a crystal sword. Get in there.
Yeah.
Come on.
First Big Bang out. Fu tossing a Cure 3 potion over to Edge. Doing about 3 to 4k a swing with that Edge. Roughly about the same with that Cecil here. A little bit more with that Excal. Noobtree headed towards the fight as fast as possible, but it definitely might just be a little bit late. Going back to the menu saying, okay, this Edge has 57 agility. What do I do with this?
57 is actually a really funny number because 56 is a breakpoint that puts Zeromus at RA4, which means if you throw a Silk Web, it's down to RA6. Noobtree Zeromus is going to have a pretty bad time. But that don't mean much if your opponent's across the line first.
Yes.
Skarcerer throwing a second Silk Web here to nerf the next Big Bang. That'll do it for Porum. She did great.
Exactly what we paid her to do. Wait, we're getting paid?
Yeah, so the big thing to worry about here would be a full-powered Big Bang into a Meteo. We have the DPS. It's just going to be a little bit about the timing here and how the HP falls.
Yeah, and even then we've got a chance to... Okay, so here comes the Big Bang. I believe this is full power. We do have Vu queuing up the Cure 4 already by means there. Down goes Rydia. And actually, I think we would have been safe even had this Cure 4 not come out, because 1200 is enough for Cecil to walk off at least one Meteo.
Yeah. So we ought to see... Oh, we do see a black hole, though,
okay.
curiously.
Yeah.
But again, over 2,000 HP on the entire team.
Yeah,
and an elixir to boot.
I thought. Okay, yeah, elixir there. I haven't seen rocks or anything. But I mean, we're already here, and with the extra actions coming out here, the nukes are already flying on Noobtree's side. We are seeing rocks. This might be closer than we thought.
Yeah, because if Noobtree gets the refill skip here, that makes up for quite a bit of time and distance.
Oh, no, there are rocks on Skarcerer's side, so that is Z at, I believe, 12k or less hit points remaining. I think we've only seen a third nuke come out. And they are hitting good, but they're not going for the Niners, I believe, that Noobtree would need here. And there's the crack bang. Skarcerer is first across the line, but Noobtree very much made a race of this at the end.
Yeah, like again, just not doing the Sheila 1 into Rat Tail saved all the time you need. GG's to Skarcerer. I think Noobtree will be less than a minute behind. What an opening race, at least on the restream side, for the All Fort Cup. You'll love to see it.
Absolutely.
Also love seeing that fight being done when, you have the edge anchor, you have the two kiddos with a combined 2,400 HP between the two of them.
And I believe that Rydia was up for most of the fight, was slinging Quake for the first nerf, some Ice 3s, actually contributed pretty well there too.
Oh, and I suppose we should distribute the points to the 3 and under. I was worried when I set up that Scamba that it was going to be that 0 to 3 might be a little too low, but it turned out to be the exact perfect cutoff, probably. So the 0 to 3s have it.
Inven, our experienced free enterprise bookie here today.
I wonder if there are good little things we can do with that on the other two flag sets as well.
I'm sure we can find something. Meanwhile, Edge throwing out the Silk Web here to... that was Aftershock there, so that is to nerf the next Big Bang here. Rydia takes the counter, which is probably not the worst thing in the world here. Might get this nuke off with Palom here. Gotta be really close to finishing up this fight here.
Yeah, we did have an official time of 1:26.09 on Skarcerer's side. And there we go. That's going to be a 1:28.36 for Noobtree, about 2.5 minutes. Very close and exciting race. Both runners in Zeromus at the same time. You love to see it. I wonder if we're going to get anyone in for an interview? Anyone know?
I believe we have Skarcerer waiting here. I might need to drag them over here. Can we do that?
I think I lack the power.
I think I might also lack some power.
I bet our restreamer does.
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. Skarcerer, GG's.
Thank you, GG.
The biggest thing there, y'all were so neck and neck in spite of having some minor divergences, but not falling for the Sheila bait, which also involved a rat tail to turn in, was the big difference maker. and a very exciting Z fight as well. Mainly, I'm wondering at the end there, you went to Tomra's armor shop. What were you looking for there?
Power shirts. I wanted a power shirt.
Gotcha. With the S Wildish having that extra boost to your melee power, it seems like it would have made a lot of sense. Were you worried at all about the Z fight, given the whole edge anchor, sea hero situation, your baby mages with, not a whole lot of HP between them? What were you thinking when you got your go mode? What was your plan at that point?
Well, when I hit go mode, I knew I was going to be fine on agility from... Was it Hookrat had Muras? I bought 2 Muras. I sold the farm to buy 2 Muras, and it's like, okay, we're gaming. Our agility set. We'll figure it out. And there were curse rings in Silvera if I was really off the mark on that, but you have to get them really over the... You have to get a lot more XP than I got to for Edge to need a curse ring when you've got 2 Muras. I figured... I saw... Well, I didn't... The thought was to steal Sirens. And then I checked Rydia's XP right before I went to Forge. And the answer became, no, we're going to figure out a full Zerker party. Because I would have needed to do like 10 Sirens. Or maybe not 10. What's 68? 400 divided by 68. Okay, it wouldn't have been 10 Sirens. But it would have been a lot more Sirens than I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. They were for sale at
And
Upstart,
then...
by the way.
See, I never checked that one.
Yeah. I mean, by the time you're on the moon, you're probably feeling pretty saucy with your damage anyway. Like, if you're ready to commit to all those boss fights, you probably don't want to have to do a whole lot else. Noobtree found them, though, and just barreled through the moon. But again, the Sheila was such a distraction that really kind of determined the race. Since this is our first one of each of y'all racing the tournament, let me ask Skarcerer, you first. What made you pick ZZA, Zeromus Anthology, for the flag set you wanted to focus on, or was it just your other teammates picked the other two before you could?
Well, you see, it's kind of my fault that the 64 floor glitch is in this flag set. It was my idea, so I figured I should learn that in case my teammates don't want to play it. And then I started learning it, and it was more than... And, when I initially thought it was just going to be a warp to Zeromus, and then Clemarinite puts out the guide, and I see the words Ribbon Room, and then it's like, oh, this is going to be a lot more fun than I thought it was.
Makes sense. Noobtree, how about you? How did you end up getting into the on the ZZA train?
I like glitches.
Hey, come here.
I also...
Same.
I was watching RPG Limit Break and watched that the display that they had with such skill, and I was like, you know what? I've been playing this game for like 20 years. I should probably try to learn that glitch. And it was super fun to figure it out. And like Skarcerer said, when I saw the different places I could go, I was like, okay, if you guys don't want to do this, I'm totally down to learn it. And there's a few kinks here and there that I had to work out. And I lucky I didn't run into any of the issues that I had in practice sometimes that I had to take a while to figure out. But it was, honestly, this flag set is fun. Just get the forge and find a way to Z.
Yeah, you both expertly did the 64 floor glitch. Neither of you hit a soft lock. Very cleanly executed. We even saw a little variety on how to get to the ribbon room. So, yeah, it ruled. It was a really fun race. Nightdew, what questions do you have for our runners?
I guess the big thing here is both of you were a little. I mean, one of you went straight to Evelyn there, and knowing you had the guy in your first party there. Now I know that Skarcerer, you did not actually go back past your opening looting. Had you not found that X-Scal in Zod, would that have been a different
Yes.
decision there? Okay.
Yes, I would have if I opened boxes on the way that were up Zod. I was Holy Sword hunting, and then I got a Holy Sword. So
Yeah, for me, it was it's one of those things. When I see I have the guy early, I like to get as much of the party as I can ready to go. Obviously, go to Ordeals when you can. Edge being the starter there was just chef's kiss for making Ordeals a piece of cake. But I saw that we had Edward and Rydia available early, and I was like, I'm just gonna take Rydia and get her up a little bit. Maybe I'll find a Bahamut somewhere. I think I found it in Eblin. I'm not sure.
There's one in
But then
Evelyn.
I found that crystal sword, and I was like, yo, I have a dart now with that Excal that I found in there. So, and then I found the other Excal in Zot, and I was like, hey, money, I can use this for when I find sirens eventually, which took forever. That's what most of my shopping was doing, was trying to find it on the overworld, and it was not there. It was in the moon.
Yeah, and then the other one I had there was when it came down to C distinct. I know we only had 8, so by the time we found that Palom for both of you, you knew all of it was there. Was there any thoughts, like especially when you two were both making your moon plays, was there any thoughts, like if you found a Rosa or somebody like that, dumping the foo for the XP buff?
If it had
I
been exactly Tella.
I thought about it. I was debating like getting rid of Fu at some point. Like, oh, okay, you know what? If I have the twins, we get that EXP buff. I was like, no, I have 3 nukes. I'll just go with the 3 nukes. We can get our EXP pretty quick anyway. But if it had been Rosa, nah. Even with Rosa, I don't. After looking at my decision again, I'd still say I'd go with what I did.
Okay.
But how did I did want to ask? I know I'm gonna rewatch the VOD, but I want to know: did we do the glitch around the same time, and did it get very, very awkwardly quiet on stream?
Less awkwardly quiet. We were able to talk through it there, but not at exactly the same time. I believe Skarcerer was first onto the Ribbon Rube glitch. I guess that's one of the other questions there is, you got the Luca key, or one of you two, I cannot remember which one of you got the Luca key off of that Ribbon Room check, and then decided to 64 floor into Luca Cave anyway.
Yeah.
Why?
I the level I was at, I was like, I just kind of want to go ahead and get this over with, and I don't want to worry about a boss fight. And also, I get to show this off. This is kind of cool. I like doing this, and I feel like time-wise, it was about the same amount of time it would have taken.
Nah, it's 90 seconds to walk down Luca. It's about 3 minutes to glitch.
Who was
if
the
you're
boss
right,
there?
Antlion.
Antlion?
Now,
Yeah.
when it hits, you are, if you're not punished for doing it, then it's worth doing it. So you didn't get punished here. But I'm never gonna warp into Luca. Just with the way I route, it's just
Understood.
it's too much. It's a little too much investment for the gamble.
Yeah, I get the whole boss argument, which is what Inven and I were both thinking there at that point. So, yeah, that was just kind of a weird thing. I'm like, well, yeah, you got the key there, and well, okay, but yeah, any other final thoughts of the scene before we wrap this up here?
I think it's a very fun flag set, and Scarcer, thanks for the rematch for 1, and 2 for coming up with this to be part of the flag set, because I've had a lot of fun practicing this glitch, and this actually it makes me giddy to play tournament time again.
It warms my heart to hear that you're having fun with this. We were a little apprehensive with it, but it seems like it's working out.
And that is absolutely why we're here. And again, thanks to both of you for putting on one heck of a show here. What a great way to kick off a new tournament season here in Free Enterprise. But that said, that is going to be it for our restreams tonight. On behalf of Inven, unfortunately had to go do some things, so I'm going to do the closing here. Big thanks to Guerin on our tracking, and God, I cannot talk today. Firebird Lover for the restream here. That is going to be our race for tonight. We do have 2 scheduled. The first on Free Enterprise 2. I believe that is Taylor Swifting versus Solaris on Free Enterprise 2, and at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're also going to have John Burkhead versus One Free Fitz. And those, I believe, are going to be some of our other flag strings as well. I'm not sure but I'll have fun watching anyway.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. And with that, again, thank you for the very successful first race, and we will see you all tomorrow.